Hello, everyone. Good evening. Happy Saturday, and welcome to day 8. Oh my God, it's already day 8 of 12 days of coaching. How exciting. Hope you guys all had a beautiful day. Whoever's catching the replay. Hello, Kim. Hi, love. Mwah. Big kiss. So excited you're here. Hi, Linda. Hi, Ilona. Hi, I know someone else joined. And we're going to have our very special guest, Kerry-Ann Elliot-Totten, who is going to be with us. Dolphins! Mwah, love you! It's a self-love party today, so we gotta love ourselves first and then love everybody else. Hi, Valerina. Hey, gorgeous. How are you? How exciting. I'm thrilled that all of these beautiful ladies are joining the chat. Do. All right, waiting for Kerry-Ann. Happy dance in the meantime. Hope everyone had a gorgeous day. I had a really beautiful day. We had my son's school holiday bazaar today, which I totally helped plan and coordinate. So that was awesome. Yes, happy dance. Hey, Natalie. Hello, love. We're still waiting for, you know what? Let me cancel this out and see if I can, let me see. Go live. Let me do it from my end. See if that helps. Instagram has been very naughty. Naughty. Hi.
Hi.
Hello, gorgeous. How are
Finally.
you? Yay.
Oh my gosh.
Welcome.
Hi, everyone.
So we have a bunch of amazing people who have joined us. And how do you feel? Look at all those beauties.
I know. I'm seeing all of them. Oh my gosh. The support and
Yeah.
love. Hi,
How about
Kimmy.
some hearts? There we go. Lots of hearts.
Oh, my nephew. Hi. Awesome.
Kerry-Ann, I think it's important that we tell everybody, because
Yes.
this is part of how we inspire people. If this is your first Instagram live interview, your first Instagram live ever, right?
Ever. Yes.
Ever.
Absolutely.
Awesome. So breaking through to new territories, breaking past comfort zones. Always such a good thing to do. Scary, but
Definitely.
So
it's worth it. It's worth it.
Good. Oh, you're in Boca. Nice. I'm in Miami. So yes, today was a hot one. Hot day.
Lucky you guys. It was not hot here. It was cold.
Cold. Hey, somebody. All right. So, Kerry-Ann, what a gorgeous topic you chose to share with us. I mean, so
Thank
fundamental.
You.
And I think probably one of the hardest ones to practice.
Definitely.
Right? So,
definitely.
Hey, Angie, so glad you're here. She's one of my new Miami Mom Boss gal pals that I met recently. And hey, Amy, one of our rock stars. Okay, so we clearly have an amazing, beautiful audience here supporting you, backing you up. There's a lot of love in the room, in this virtual room. So, tell us a little bit, recap for us, why you chose such an important topic and what it means for you.
Honestly, I think it's one of the most important things that we can do for ourselves. And I think that we just get bogged down. We get so busy. We're always giving, thinking of others, and we forget about ourselves. And it's just really important to be intentional about showing ourselves some love and realize that it's not vain to do that, right? It's okay to love yourself. It's okay to take care of yourself because you end up giving the best of yourself to the people that you do love.
Yes. I absolutely think it's one of the, I love how Amy says, it's Amy, right? Correct me if I'm wrong. Amy says she loves today's topic. I love today's topic too. And I really think it's one of those extra difficult ones to master. And I think it's a continuous process of really continuing to tap into what self-love means to you. Because this idea of really, as I wrote in one of my stories, it's like, before you say I love you to anybody else, you have to get really comfortable with saying I love me. Like you were saying in your quote, you have to get really comfortable with staring in the mirror and loving yourself up. And
that's right.
Hard. And that is really at the core of taking your life and your love and your soul to the next level. is really mastering this idea of truly loving yourself and treating yourself like your best friend.
Absolutely.
Like, you know, you're number one. You're number one.
And being intentional about it. I think, you know, I actually remember when this came into my mind, I was watching TV, not really paying attention, and a commercial came on, and it was just like, you know, if you want to lose weight, you know, take this. And then the very next commercial was, you know, you're too skinny. If you're too skinny, you should take these pills. And then the next commercial was about your hair not being youthful enough. And I was just like, wow, like there's so many messages telling us that we're not good enough and we need to change something about ourselves. And, you know, we don't really pay attention to those messages that are coming through. And I realized, like, wow, if you're not intentional about being okay with yourself and just saying, I love you just the way you are. I may have goals that I can go after them, but I'm okay right now. Like, I am enough. You know, if you don't do that, years could go by and then you're kind of walking through the world and not being intentional and not realizing that, you know, you were put on this earth to more than exist. You were put to live, to really get the best from life and to really impact others around you.
Yes. Yes, yes, yes. I love how Angie's saying, totally agreeing with you and saying subliminally those messages are everywhere. Yeah. Let me ask you, what inspired you to specialize in this idea, this self-love movement as a coach?
I work with young people. I've had the privilege and honor to work with young people for the past like 18 years, middle school and high schoolers. And it breaks my heart when I communicate with a young person who doesn't believe in themselves or don't think that they have a purpose on earth. And, you know, sometimes our kids don't perform well academically, but it's because they don't feel like they should, right? You know, like they don't realize people care about them and that they're lovable. And that's really what pushed me. And actually made me realize I had to ask myself, do I love myself? And how have I been showing myself that I love myself? Because for a while, there was a lot of preaching and no practicing. And, you know, I had to be like, so am I telling these young people do this, do that, but I'm not doing it? And so they really motivated me and pushed me to really start taking the time to do that. And I've seen a difference in the way that I perceive things. And that's really where it comes from, really wanting to inspire young people and helping them know that they're here for a reason and that right now in this moment, when they're unsure or uncertain of their future, they're lovable and they are fine just the way they are.
Yeah, that's absolutely gorgeous. I wanna chime in here with a comment from Wise Womb and Doula. What a beautiful account name. Inadequacy is everywhere as a message, and then it transfers over to our everyday. It also makes us live in fear of not being enough. I gotta tell you, this not being enough thing is, I mean, it's a big one. And as I was reading through the comments and the interaction you got on your post today, that was definitely came up. Came up a lot for people. This idea that it's beyond just the fact of, oh, I gotta love myself. We have to get over that initial massive hurdle of perceiving we're honestly truly not good enough. And under that good enough sort of packaging, we have all sorts of things: perfectionism, fear of showing up, you know, that not perceiving ourselves as adequate, lovable, not perceiving ourselves as attractive inside and out, like everybody look at it. And it's all wrapped in this big like box of not enough. And that not enough is one of those main things that constantly stops us in our tracks from reaching the next thing that we want to do, the next level, the next goal, whatever it is, because we hold ourselves back because we're so afraid of hitting that wound. That's like a not enough. It's like an open wound we carry, and we're afraid to, like, you know, it's like hitting it everywhere we go. What words of wisdom do you have for people, most of us, who are carrying around this idea of I'm not enough?
You know, and before we get to that, I really want everyone to realize that, like you said before, it's a journey. It's not like you get to a place and you're like, now I'm enough and that's it. You know, you have to be consistent. And, you know, in the post I wrote today, I think one of the first things is you have to start changing your mindset in terms of how you think about yourself. And it's going to take time. But, you
Yeah.
know, oftentimes we have these negative thoughts in our minds about ourselves. You know, you make a mistake and you're like, oh, I'm so stupid. It's like, it's a mistake. We're human,
Mhm.
right? We all make mistakes. And so I think the first thing is to really be mindful of the thoughts that we have about ourselves. And when those negative thoughts come, be intentional, let them go, right? Because sometimes
Mhm.
we get into a battle of trying to stop the thought. Let the thought go through, but then say something positive about yourself
Mhm.
behind it. You know, it
Yeah.
could be as simple as, oh, I am aware of the thought, right? So my self-awareness is increasing, right? Being really
Yeah.
present and mindful with ourselves and really starting to
Yeah.
like reprogram our minds.
Yeah. Absolutely. I love, because part of what I was going to ask you to do is to give us some practical advice and tips, because this all sounds like a big thing to tackle. There's always
Mm-hmm.
those little mindset shifts, those
Yep.
little choices that we make day in and day out. And again, it's as
Mm-hmm.
simple as making the choice to, every time we have a negative thought comes through, we proactively reprogram ourselves
That's
with
right.
a positive thought, a positive affirmation, like wise woman
Do the,
saying.
yes.
Angie says the way we talk to ourselves and the way we talk to others is so different. Affirmations are so important. How do you feel about affirmations in your life, Kerry-Ann?
Oh my gosh. I mean, they are so, so
Yeah,
important. I mean, you know, and posting them, having them visible, you know,
yeah,
like sometimes you can come in from a hard day at work and you look up and there's a positive affirmation. It's like, oh yeah, you know, I am enough. Oh, right. You know,
yeah,
I'm okay. Everything's going to work out.
yeah,
And it also goes to counteract those other messages that we're constantly getting, you know? So affirmations are super important, and saying them out loud,
yes,
I don't know. I mean,
yes,
saying I am enough or I am powerful or I am open, it's like the words, right? They really, really start to make a difference in how you feel about yourself.
yes. And it's the type of thing that, even if at first, and if you've never really practiced affirmations actively, they might seem really weird and awkward and cheesy at first, and very like
Totally.
uncomfortable.
This is so weird. Yeah.
Yeah, but you have to believe it. You have to see it as you're exercising a new muscle. You know, you're exercising
Yeah.
self-love muscle. And so at
Mm-hmm.
first it's going to be very, very awkward, and you're going to be like, but keep at it, because the fact is that they do work. They do help to reprogram your brain. They do help to
Yes.
literally, rewire the things going up there. We've created these patterns of thought that we think about subconsciously that we don't even realize we do. So when we
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
begin to really proactively catch them and, like, flip them into something else over time, and it doesn't take too long, but you have to be consistent. Like you said, consistency
Absolutely. Yes.
is
Yes.
absolutely key. You have to be self-disciplined enough to want this for yourself,
Mm-hmm.
and then to trickle out into your family and everybody else, which I also want to talk to in a little bit. But yeah,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
affirmations are awesome. I have I love affirmations, and when you were going through the ones you just said, it reminded me, I once got, like, my son got this little, like, sticker book somewhere, and there was
Mm-hmm.
a teeny tiny sticker that said "You're awesome," and I put it, like, in front of my steering wheel on my, like, panel in my car. So every time I get in the car, I see this little tiny sticker that says "You're awesome."
You're
And I'm like,
awesome.
yeah.
That's right.
And
You
even
know, and
something as simple as that,
it makes such a difference.
yes, it, like, it flips me into, like, it makes me smile, which is
Mm-hmm.
great. And I go, yeah, you are awesome. Let's do this.
Yeah, and you just made me think, like, you know, oftentimes, like, your son had that book with the stickers in it. And I think that when we think of children and the way we want to speak to children, our own children, and how we want to support and encourage and love them, at
Mhm.
some point, you know, we stop doing that
Yeah.
for ourselves. You know, as a kid, you know, people say those things to you and you feel great about yourself. But when do we stop communicating to each other like that? And
Mhm.
now, you know, it does create an opportunity for us to be intentional about the way we speak to ourselves. But, you know, that's why the quote from today was really, you know, speak to yourself the way you would speak to someone that you love. You
Yeah.
know, because when we love someone, we approach them differently. The spirit and energy that we come to them with is just so different. You know,
Yeah.
we're patient, we're gentle, we want to be in their presence. And so what does it look like when we approach ourselves with that kind of energy, that spirit, that love, that tenderness?
Yeah. That's absolutely beautiful. So let me bring in, because this can be love in the hearts. This
Mm-hmm.
this this that I'm going to mention next is like one of those self-love, self-care, like, elephants in the room.
Mm-hmm.
This idea that you have to put yourself first before everybody else.
Yeah. So, I mean, Yeah, sometimes when you say that, um, people are like, "Oh, you're selfish. What do you mean? Put yourself first?"
Uh-huh.
But there's a really famous speaker, Jim Rohn, and I
Mm-hmm.
read one of his books, and he said his wife came to him, and she was like, "Babe, what do you need from me? Let me know." And he said, "If you love me, you'll take care of yourself,
Mm.
right? So take care of yourself for me." Because if we don't take care of ourselves, then what are we bringing to our family? The leftovers, right?
Yes.
And so it's so important, like, to take care of yourself. I know everyone knows that you get on the plane, and when
Mm-hmm.
they're talking to you about in case of an emergency, you put on your oxygen mask first and then someone else's. So self-care is not a selfish thing. It's really, if you love someone else and you love yourself, you take care of yourself so that you'll be around longer, right? So that you'll be there to share experiences and create memories with them. So we need to really step away from thinking it's selfish or vain to take care of yourself. If you don't, who will?
Yes, I'm so glad you spoke like that so truthfully and so honestly, because that's one of my biggest philosophies and one of the things that I try to convey to everybody around me, whether it's my clients or people that anybody who I talk to, is this idea that I've become really comfortable with that concept of
Mm-hmm.
I put myself first. I have
Mm-hmm.
a husband, I have a 2-year-old son, so that's my immediate family, and of course I have my extended family. I am very, very clear and really stand in that place of integrity of knowing that when I put myself first, everybody benefits.
That's right. That's right.
I will do, of course, I will give my life for my son. There's no denying that. But I am
Absolutely.
very cognizant every single day that I'm first, because then when I put
Mm-hmm.
myself first, he wins. He's going to get the best version of me. He's going to get the best version of everything that I have to give. And
Yes,
that's a gift that I'm giving both of us. The same
that's
goes with
right.
my husband. And that has been something that takes time to learn and takes time to really like sit with that and feel totally like this idea of self-love being selfish, or putting
Yeah.
yourself first seeming selfish. The way I explain it is, when that comes from a place of true love and true,
Mm-hmm.
again, integrity in your word and who you are and your values with your family, there's no way it can be selfish in a bad way,
Right. That's
because
right.
it's coming from a place of true love. So
Yeah.
it's like, you know.
Yeah, and it's funny you say that. My son is 2 as well, and I would say that he was the real motivating force because I realized that he's going to learn from watching me.
Yes.
And I was like, I
Mm-hmm.
don't want him to grow up thinking that, he constantly just has to be running on empty, and, he has to prove that he loves people by giving, 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 serving, 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 and not
Mm-hmm.
taking time for himself. And that's really what stopped me in my tracks. And I was like, he's watching me, and
Yeah.
that's how he's learning. And so what is he going to learn from his mom? And that's really helped me to be more intentional about that. And I'm not going to say that, there are times when I decide that, okay, I'm going to do something, and there's that guilt that starts creeping up, and I'm like, oh my gosh, maybe I shouldn't get my nails done because I need to be
Yeah.
here. And then I take a moment and stop and think about, okay, well, getting your nails done is okay,
Yeah.
right? You're going to feel good about yourself, and when you come home, you're going to bring that energy with you, versus being at home and in the back of my head like, I should have gone and gotten my nails done, and
Yeah.
now I'm not present.
Yeah. And
And
feeling
so,
resentful and feeling
right,
that sense of resentment, like,
that's
oh,
right.
yeah.
Yeah.
Which is
Hmm.
energy that just stops us from giving more, because we're kind of like, ugh. Then it's like this little bit of like subconscious anger creeps up because
Yes,
we didn't love ourselves first. So
that's
in the back
right.
of our mind, it's like, when
Yep.
it could have been as simple as making a choice. And it's all about, of course, making smart choices and understanding, like, how your life fits in your everyday. But I guarantee that most of the times when someone is thinking, I can't do this, I can't, yeah, they probably can.
Mm-hmm.
It's just a matter of creating more like processes in their lives, or really managing their mindset so that
Mm-hmm.
they can make a choice that's beneficial to them. Whether it's doing getting a mani pedi, or taking a course, or
Yes.
investing in something that's important for you.
Mm-hmm.
So I wanna catch a couple of comments here. We have it takes so much of a burden off each other. Yes. Wow, so good. Thank you, Gillian. You've been an all-star. Thank you for joining us always. so much energy to take care of others. You don't have enough energy to focus on yourself. Well said. But I like to talk about self-care beyond the physics, reaching all levels and honoring all of us, the mental, emotional, and spiritual. Absolutely.
Absolutely.
And the account, Be Stronger Than Your Excuses, which love that name. My daily struggle, making the choices. And then we have J. L.E.M. Rise. As a giver, sometimes we lose track of taking care of ourselves first. What you have said makes total sense. Guys, I mean, everybody's listening to the message. So what would you say, Kerry-Ann, to someone who's on board with the message? Someone who, like Angie, who I met recently and is a powerhouse of a woman, and she's being vulnerable enough here to say, like, this is really hard for me. What would you tell someone like that?
Well, a couple of things. Like I said, you start with the thought process. You post things around your house to remind you. But then it's also take a moment to think about who would you be if you loved yourself.
Ooh,
like,
wait, say that again. Say that.
Really, sorry.
Say that again, because that's an important one.
Definitely. Who would you be if you loved yourself? Think about where you're operating right now, if you're running on empty or if you're not taking time for yourself. But who would you be if you really took the time to love yourself? Who would you bring home? Who would you be at work, right? Who would you be on your way to work? What would your experience of life be like if you just took a moment to really love yourself? And, I would also say to Angie, document it, keep a little journal, because you will see some changes happening over time. And one more thing, which initially I thought, oh, this is not a big deal, but it had such an impact on me. I was saying for everyone to, make a self-love playlist. Like, there were times where I wasn't feeling great, but if I listened to, I woke up like this, flawless. There are just certain songs that put you in a space where you start really feeling different. You feel good about yourself. And so that's a simple thing. On the way to work, on the way home, you play songs that make you feel good about yourself. But that's a part of self-love.
I love that. I love that. I wonder, Kerry-Ann, I'm just sort of getting inspiration here. If you'd be willing to share as a follow-up, a post in the next couple of days about your sort of self-love playlist, just
absolutely, yes.
We'll make sure to tag anybody who's joined us here. I love how Linda was saying that we're such an inspiration. Love you, Linda, one of my dear friends. Wisdom mic drop, yes. Love that.
Wow. Hi, guys. Lots of loved ones. Hey.
Yeah. Wow. And Bronx to California. Hi, Queen. Still blessing the world with your wisdom. Blessing it even more now that she's like out live on Instagram. Jawanza78 says, it's a process also having positive people around you. I'm glad you said that, because when you were talking, Kerry-Ann, that's one of the things that came to my mind is how you surround yourself. And maybe it's not, everybody, right? But one friend, one new person to support you. It could be someone on Instagram even. How do you begin to expand since college? How do you begin to expand that circle so that you are feeding each other that energy of it's okay to put ourselves first? It's almost like a hype woman. My sister-in-law and I have this ongoing joke where we're like each other's hype woman. And it really helps because then you're in that safe space of, nobody's judging me. And it allows you to begin to open up and blossom into that person who really loves themselves, talks highly of themselves.
Yes,
Stardust Fitness, Joe, love you.
It's so funny you're saying that. Like, so many of these people are making comments right now are our family and friends that I've known for so long. And they've always supported me. So I've been very blessed in that way. And, I refer to them as my power pack, right? When I'm feeling a little bit low, I plug in. And it's not a big deal. I mean, they just always make me feel good about myself. There is no, envy or jealousy. It's just really wanting me to be my best self. And in turn, I support them in being their best self. So it really is important to be intentional about who you do have around you. Not everyone can be that, but at least one person who supports you and loves you just the way you are.
Absolutely. Stardust says, love you, healers healing. Absolutely. And that power pack concept, I'm going to borrow that for our group of we have
coaches.
a group of close knit gal pals that were kind of like, giving each other all the support now as we're venturing into
Mm-hmm.
new chapters in our lives. And that idea of having like your power pack and literally plugging in.
Plugging it in.
I need to recharge myself, so let me plug into my power pack.
That's right.
I love that. So let's open up. If anybody here has, I mean, I love how this has been one of our most interactive chats that we've had yet. So Kerry-Ann, you're being like the power pack for us, because clearly you're like bringing out energy here as we all gather. That's absolutely amazing. So magical. So does anybody here have a question like that you'd like to ask Kerry-Ann? Just get some coaching on the spot. Anybody who has something that they're like, you've listened to this chat and you have something that's kind of lingering on your mind. What are you feeling? Let's share it out, because in that spirit of sharing, we begin to heal ourselves, and we can also support each other. Not everybody is going to pose a question, but I guarantee you that whoever does, that answer will help most of us, if not all of us. So we'll give you guys a couple seconds, because it takes a little bit for the comments to come in, but please think about something, post it in. And let's see what else. Oh my God, today's again, it's one of those topics that is so necessary. That's why today, this is really like a movement. It's a movement, because it requires people like you, Kerry-Ann, that are willing to step into that light of, you got to love yourself fully before you can give anybody else any goodness. To inspire others to do the same.
Definitely.
You know, and you're someone who has a ton of stuff going on in her life, a ton of responsibilities, a ton of people around you. How, it's like, oh, well, if she's making time and energy and prioritizing her self-love and self-care, then I can too.
Yeah. And, I think it's really important, particularly in the holiday season, right? We get bogged down and stressed out with so many things. Families coming over, we're cooking, we're taking head counts, we're thinking about gifts. There's just so many things happening during this time. And, you can really, really deplete your energy. And so, what is the gift that you're going to give to yourself this holiday season? What's the one thing you're going to do every day, or the one, statement you're going to say to yourself every day, just to be present and just to give yourself a bit of love and not get overwhelmed. Step into 2019 deciding that you are going to put yourself first.
Gorgeous. All right, we got a couple questions. I love this. Be stronger than your excuses says, how do you love yourself fully? I mean, I can't get out of my head long enough to be not so stressed. I love that. And just because I want to make sure that the second question doesn't scroll, J. Aleandra says, how do you deal with a friend that always has issues, problems that you need to be there for without forgetting about yourself?
That's good. That's a good one.
Power hour. It's the power hour.
Ooh, that's a good one. Okay, now.
Kerry-Ann, it's all you.
So what was the first question?
How do you love yourself fully? I mean, I can't get out of my head long enough to not be so stressed.
Okay. So like I said before, it's going to take time, right? And so what's the one thing that you're going to do for yourself every day? It could be something as simple as stopping for 30 seconds and just breathing and being still. Oftentimes if you think about self-care, they'll talk about meditation. And what meditation really is following your breath, and it allows you to be present, right? The thought will come through your mind and you let it go. Right? Trying to fight the thought just takes up more time. You let it go, but it's going to take some practice. I would definitely say, post those affirmations because you're rewiring your mind, reprogramming the brain. So the fact that you have, your thoughts are coming in often and they can stress you out, you've acknowledged that. So you're already ahead of the game. And you've also looking to make change. So these are two things that you're doing already. So the next step really is being present with yourself, giving yourself a chance. It's okay. You might still be stressed. Definitely, I can't say it enough. Start posting affirmations around your home because you'll see it and it'll remind you like, oh, yeah, that's right, right? And the other question.
Yes.
Ooh, that was a good question.
Yeah.
So part of the reason that, you may feel overwhelmed is because you aren't taking time for yourself, right? And so now you have this friend who's always bringing issues and problems, and you feel like you have your own issues and problems, and they start piling up. And, what does it look like when you start taking time for yourself? When you start speaking to yourself in a different way, you're going to bring a different energy to your friend. right?
Mm-hmm.
And, you know, they say the best way to change other people is to change yourself, right? You're going to start bringing different energy, and maybe, you know, make a suggestion, you know, so, you know, we've been talking about this, you know, what can we do differently? What do we need to do next time? You know, what can we learn from this situation so that you're not constantly in that space of hearing the negativity? You know, suggest something different to your friend. But again, when you start changing yourself, you'll change others, because you may not respond the way you used to before. And your friend might notice that. It's like, well, what's going on? You don't usually respond like this. And that gives you an opportunity to have a conversation about doing something different in those types of conversations.
Yeah. Beautifully said. Beautifully said. Thank you guys for asking so genuinely, and thank you, Kerry-Ann, for your
Thank
wisdom.
you. Thank you. This has been so incredible. This has been incredible. You've been doing an amazing job, Maria. Thank you.
Thank you so much. It's been such a pleasure, and I had a feeling this is going to be a great chat with you, and it did not disappoint. So exciting. I know we deposited a lot of seeds of self-love in a lot of minds, more self-love, so it can grow, and that's how we make the world a better place ultimately, is by starting with ourselves. So thank you everybody so much who joined us.
Thank you guys.
This is definitely one of the most interactive sessions we've had to date. Appreciate all the love to anybody who's watching the replay. Mwah, we love you too. And keep, you know, Kerry-Ann, I'm going to hold you to that suggestion for a self-love playlist.
Oh, definitely. That's one of my favorite things. I think
that is an awesome idea to give everybody a takeaway after this gorgeous conversation. So watch out for that post, everyone. And we'll see you tomorrow. Tomorrow we're hitting day 9. Oh my God, coming in for the
Can't believe it.
Can't believe it. It has been a labor of love, but it's been absolutely thrilling to be on this journey with all these amazing coaches. Love everyone. Love you, Kerry-Ann. You're beautiful.
Love you guys. Love you too.
Yes. Big kisses. Adios.
Bye.
Bye.